Okay, here I am, got the lines drawn in. Kind of makes little crosses for me, so I'll know where to put the corn seeds. I'm using inoculated seeds. They have a pink coating on them. Makes them really easy to see when you're planting them. They're all supposed to be about 1 inch deep. I use the pipe. It keeps me from having to bend over, crawl around on my hands and knees. Saves my back. And it's not nothing that hard, nothing that fancy. Just got to get them in. I spaced them out about 6 inches from each side. I come out and I lay a 2x4 down and I kind of slide it back and forth and make these marks. I take a shorter piece and go across. They're not measured, it's just eyeballed. They look about a foot. So I try to keep them within 8 inches to a foot. I got 20 lines one way and 4 lines the other, which equals 80 plants. And you're gonna, you don't get 100% germination. So I'll get a few spots that are bare, plant missing here or plant missing there, but it's not a big deal. I already did the other side, so that's why I'm only doing 2 here. If you look close, you can see the seeds on the other side. We don't get much grass clippings in July because of droughts. We usually have a lot of spells without any rain, so this is going to have to be watered more than likely, just with a hose. So I don't put any chemicals in my garden or in my lawn, so I can use my lawn clippings. And I have chickens, so I want them to be able to eat the grass clippings and free range out here without getting chemicals. So I'm just a firm believer that that's where we get cancer from. All of the chemicals we're adding to our soils and for pesticides and growing things wrong way. So the variety I'm using is something I picked up at Agway. I like to shop local. It says Fantastic XR Hybrid, so we'll see what it does. I get 74-day variety. Then we'll see how it grows. I've got this would be my 4th planting, and when I pull my onions up, I'll make a 5th planting of those. So get a lot of seeds. A lot of seeds for a small amount of change, really. And there's enough there to plant a lot, really a lot. Raised beds like this, I could plant all my beds with this one bag. And I have successive plantings, so I can get some in all year round. Well, all summer. Every couple of weeks I throw in another bed. So now I'm just covering them up with the back of the rake. It's helps make the seeds get contact. Nothing fancy, just dragging a rake over to cover it over. Get them all about 1 inch deep. If one's a little deeper than the other, it just doesn't germinate quite as fast. And but this time of year it should germinate pretty quick. I'll give it all the water it needs. Yeah, my cousin up in Maine, Dennis, he likes to kid me a little bit about his corn versus mine. My early corn isn't that good, but this is my late corn actually. I'll be using this for freezing. Also up there, I'm eating my blackberries here when he's looking at blossoms. So a little difference, but all in fun. I enjoy gardening. Not many in my family do. Like I say, my cousin Dennis in Maine is one that does. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bend over and push this one in. Again, you can see that the pink inoculation on it helps you see the seeds. Okay, we're tamping it down to make sure you get a good contact with the seeds. Might not be necessary because by the time I spritz water all over it and soak it in, it'll probably make contact anyway. But yeah, just something I'm used to doing. Another thing I did is I brought water out here. Instead of having garden hoses laying across my lawn, and every time I try to cut the grass, I gotta move them. I took some PVC pipe, picked up from local lumberyard. I think I got it at Lowe's, and it was very cheap. Just take a hose and lay it across the lawn, or your pipe and lay it out there, and just to kind of create a straight line, and take your shovel and stick it in. Just go down 2 or 3 inches, just enough to keep it under the soil so you don't hit it. And I dug a V all the way down, glued the pipe together, popped it into the thing and threw the sod right back over it, and carried it up in here to these 4x4s, this 4x4 here and a 2x4 on the top, and I kind of made a little manifold there with valves on it so I can turn things on and off. I blow it out when it comes winter time. That allows me to have water out here with hoses in my garden that I don't have to worry about when I'm cutting my lawn. Just nice to have it because it sits back 100 feet from my house. And having water out here is handy. So, gonna have to water this pretty heavy. Because when the sun's beating on it, you want to make sure that it doesn't dry them out when they're germinating, because that's how you lose them. So I use concrete blocks to make my walkways, my raised beds, and I get somebody to throw away some carpets that looked like brand new carpets. So somebody, I think, bought a house and didn't like the color and changed it, and they had it cut up and rolled up and at the curb, so I just tossed it in the back of my pickup and brought it home and put strips in about 5 or 6 years ago, and I had wall-to-wall carpet in the garden. It's still pretty good shape, for what I want it for, to keep the weeds down. They grow around the edges. I have to weed whack it when I get a chance, but it's not, it all helps. If I can stay at it. I get so busy sometimes I don't stay at it. But and the concrete blocks, I capped off with patio blocks, which allows me to kneel and weed and pick and harvest and seed and everything. And I just throw some cheap knee pads on, and I can be working in the garden like this without a problem. So takes a lot to soak this ground to get it thoroughly wet. You saw me just push a seed in. It didn't look like it was wet at all. Takes a lot to get down there 1/2 to 3/4 or an inch of depth with water on this. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so that's why we're picked today to do it. And this makes better use of my garden, so I don't just plant potatoes and then when it's done let it sit there idle. I try to figure out what I want, what I'm planning on doing, and I'd rather can or freeze later in the fall when it's cooler weather, September, October, than do it in July when it's hot. So we've been getting a lot of green beans. Matter of fact, I canned some this morning, so that's bad enough. Got to make an outdoor kitchen, maybe next year. Let me throw this on jet and wash some of these blocks off. There we go. Yeah, it kind of looks nice too, having the cement blocks in there without. Yeah, I was kind of leery of pressure treated because of the chemicals involved. Again, these should last the rest of my lifetime. So, and If you have any questions or anything like that, don't be afraid to ask. Subscribe, that helps me come back and keep adding more videos. Gives me the incentive. It's nice to see new subscribers. And I plan on doing more teaching in the future. I missed a lot of opportunities by just going in and doing stuff. So that's it. Like and subscribe, and come back and do more of these videos again.